Good morning, Heartland. Let's take a look at your current conditions right now. As you can see, we're underneath the jet stream at the moment, so that means we can anticipate some drier and warmer temperatures throughout the week. All right, Tuesday, we can expect lots of sunshine, very breezy, warmer conditions, around 87 degrees, winds coming out of the south, southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Across the Heartland today, some highs for you, 87 degrees in Ottumwa, 87 in Kirksville, 86 in Centerville and Unionville, and 88 degrees in Sigourney and Macon. All right, let's take a look at Tuesday night. 67 degrees, mostly clear, pleasant conditions. Winds coming out of the south around 5 miles per hour with some slight cloud coverage throughout. Wednesday, we're looking at sunny skies above normal, some light breeze, light winds, plenty of sunshine though. 90-degree temperatures and winds coming out of the south, southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, let's take a look at your extended forecast today. 87 degrees today, like I said. 67 is your overnight low, taking us into Wednesday at around 90 degrees. Taking us into Wednesday night, 68 degrees. Thursday, 89. Partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of some moisture moving into parts of southeast Iowa. Overnight low of 66 degrees there. Taking us into Friday, 88 degrees, some slight cloud coverage with an overnight low of 68. And finally into the weekend on Saturday, 90 degrees, some partly cloudy skies there as well.
So a great forecast, minus the fact that we need some rain in it.
That's right. We do need some moisture coming in, mostly drier, warmer conditions, but we are craving some moisture.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed for Thursday, and hopefully we'll squeeze out some rain from that system.
Let's hope it will.
All right, thanks so much. Coming up next is Tech Bites. And welcome back. Here's what everyone is buzzing about this morning. As students head back to school, they're more likely to arrive dressed in a school-sanctioned uniform. It's an increasingly popular policy that may not improve schools as advertised. Kit has the lowdown.
Thanks, Ella. Nearly 1 in 5 public schools required uniforms in 2010. Up from just 1 in 8 a decade earlier, according to the most recent findings from the U.S. Department of Education. The 60% growth in uniform requirements at school comes despite the fact that research on their effectiveness for safety and school climate is inconclusive. Overall, more than half of public schools enforce some sort of dress code, according to the National Center of Education Statistics. The idea of requiring public school students to wear uniforms was first envisioned in the 1980s by then Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry, who believed standardized dress might help public school students succeed as well as those in the city's Catholic schools. But nearly a decade-long study found that uniforms effects were either unknown, statistically insignificant, or, in the case of a few studies, negative. Despite what the research might suggest, uniforms remain popular with some educators.
So this is more geared towards public schools, which you don't see a lot. Obviously, private schools, Catholic schools, you see students wearing uniforms, and this video here is of Mary Immaculate Church, a Catholic school here in Kirksville. When they went to student uniforms, I believe it was either last year or the year before.
Sure.
And I did this story, and I talked to the students, and the majority of them said they liked having school uniforms because they didn't have to worry about what to wear to school, or, having to worry about, if their friend is wearing the same shirt or anything like that.
Sure.
I went to a public school. Did you go to a public school?
I went to public school my whole life.
And you never had any school uniforms?
Never.
I didn't have school uniforms growing up either, but as I got older, like in high school and even college, I started noticing that a lot of the public schools in the Arizona school district started going to the basic, blue collared shirts, khaki pants, red collared shirts, khaki pants, and a lot of them have adopted having, school uniforms. I think it's a great idea, honestly. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but it does have its faults at times too. Like I said, I went to public school my whole life. I like the idea of people kind of having that choice of individualism. I don't like the idea of kids kind of being exposed to almost a cookie cutter. This is what I'm going to wear today because this is what I have to wear. In real life, it's one of those things where we don't necessarily wear uniforms all the time. Yeah, we have professional attire, but we do have some choice with regards to what we can and can't wear. In a public school setting, if we were to enforce uniforms, it just gets a little complicated, a little too unrealistic. I mean, on a grade school level, it makes a little sense, but once we start to get to that high school and, like I said, even middle school level, I mean, I think at that point, people are going to express their individualism in some way or another, whether it be untucking their polo or...
Well, this brings up a really good question. When you get into older grades, when, and I'm not saying every school has this, but some schools, whether they're in lower poverty areas where they do have maybe issues where they can't afford nicer clothes, but the clique, that can afford it have nicer clothes. Or with gangs, a lot of people like to wear colors and to associate themselves with a group of students. Do you think that that would cut back on if they were to enforce school uniforms?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously I hate to say it in almost a negative way, but if you do have that sort of cookie cutter uniform and policy, it eliminates that idea of, all right, this person's wearing colors or this person is more fashionable than that person. But at the same time, like I said, people find some way, shape, or form to individualize. If they're wearing colors, maybe they'll wear an armband or something across their sleeve. Just something different. People are going to find some way to rebel, I guess, in one way or shape or form.
And I mean, even the study itself says that it's inconclusive. Even though a lot of people want to say that this promotes, good education, less distraction in the classrooms, but according to the study, it's saying that you're still going to have those problems.
Yeah, relatively inconclusive. So I don't think it's really significant enough to warrant really enforcing it on majority of the areas around the world.
Well, we did post this on our Facebook page because we wanted to hear our viewers' thoughts, and they're on each side, and we have some mixed review. First one we have is from Rachel. Kids will find something to bully other kids about. If it's not their clothes, then it'll be something else. We also have Wilda. I believe school uniforms are a great idea. It eliminates any social stigma and allows kids to concentrate on studies. And finally, Donna writes, I am all for having uniforms. All economic classes will look the same. No picking on what one is wearing or doesn't have. It all cuts down on wondering what to buy. And lastly, I know schools have dress codes, but I just don't see where they are enforced, which sometimes I don't see that problem here in the Heartland, but in bigger cities, you see kids wearing something and you're like, should they be wearing that to high school? Whether it's a girl or a guy. So you're more than welcome to join the conversation on our Facebook page. Just head on over there. There's an interesting study on the link that shows what schools in the nation enforce school uniforms or school policies with dress codes. So it's a very interesting read, and we'll be right back.